Serena Williams is one of the most influential female athletes in the world. Throughout her career in tennis, she won 23 Grand Slam singles titles, as well as 14 Grand Slam doubles titles and 3 doubles gold medals at the Olympics with her sister, Venus Williams. The Williams sisters grew up playing tennis, coached by their father, Richard Williams, in Compton, California. From a young age, it was clear that the two girls were talented, and the family later moved to Florida so that the Williams sisters could go to a tennis academy. In 1995, both girls went pro and began winning tournaments. For years, the sisters took the tennis world by storm, consistently winning and raising the bar for women's tennis players. Yet, from the beginning, Serena Williams loved fashion and started to wear outfits that challenged the traditional dress code, such as her infamous catsuit. However, that wasn't the only way that she challenged the sport, and on September 8, 2018, Serena became one of the most controversial female athletes in the world. At the U.S. Open Women's Final, Williams played an unforgettable match against Japanese tennis player Naomi Osaka. The game was not going well for Williams, but nobody expected for this particular game to take such a turn for the worst. The umpire, Carlos Ramos, issued a warning to Williams after suspecting that her coach, Patrick Mouratoglou, was giving her hand signals during the game. In tennis, that is considered to be illegal coaching, but Williams took immediate offense to Ramos's call. In fact, she was so upset about this accusation that she walked up to the umpire and, pointing her finger, stated, "I don't cheat. I'd rather lose," then quickly mentioned, "Every time I play here, I have problems." After that moment, everything appeared normal despite Williams' frustration with her performance and her annoyance with Ramos. Later in the game, Williams misplayed a shot and smashed her racket on the ground. Immediately afterwards, Ramos took a point away from Williams. At this point, Williams was furious, which resulted in her turning to Ramos and saying, "You stole a point from me, and you are a thief." Without hesitation, Ramos leaned towards the microphone and issued a full game penalty to Williams, justifying his call by saying that her comment was verbal abuse. The clip you're about to see next is live footage that occurred right after Serena was issued the first warning by the umpire, Carlos Ramos.
Serena's confused by the score being called out.
This is unbelievable. Every time I play here, I have problems. What? Yeah, that's a warning. I didn't get coaching. I didn't get coaching. You need to make an announcement that I didn't get coaching. I don't cheat. I didn't get coaching. How can you say that? You owe me an apology. You owe me an apology. I have never cheated in my life. I have a daughter and I stand what's right for her, and I've never cheated. And you owe me an apology. You will never do another one like that.
As you can see from that clip, Serena was very upset about the insinuation that she was cheating, regardless of if the act even happened or not, which, to Serena's knowledge at the time, she did not believe that she cheated. That's because, according to Serena's belief, she thought her coach was simply giving her an encouraging thumbs up, not signaling her to do anything. In the next clip I'll play, we begin to see how Serena started to stand up for herself, yet she was still demanding an apology.
Explain it to you. For you to attack my character is something that's wrong. It's wrong. You attacking my character. Yes, you are. You owe me an apology. You will never, ever, ever be on another court of mine as long as you live. You are the liar. When are you going to give me my apology? You owe me an apology. Say it. Say you're sorry. Well, then don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Yeah,
You're a thief too.
Serena was watching her coach give her a hand signal.
Verbal abuse.
And now,
penalty, Mrs. Williams.
Wow.
correct.
Oh my goodness, this is very unfortunate. Serena's asking for the referee.
After this, Serena went to go get the referees, which then led her to have a conversation very seriously about the fact that if she was a man, she likely wouldn't be receiving the same treatment. The next clip shows that moment.
For calling you a thief.
And that's not right. This is not fair. This has happened to me too many times. This is not fair. This is not fair. But to give me a point to lose a game for whoever saying that is not fair. I mean, it's really not. Right. But you know how many other men do things that are, I don't think they do much worse than that. This is not fair. There's a lot of men out here that have said a lot of things, and because they're men, that doesn't happen to them. Okay? This is unbelievable. No, I don't know the risk, because if I say a simple thing, a thief because he stole a point from me, that does not make, there are men out here that do a lot worse, but because I'm a woman, you're going to take this away from me? That is not right. You know it, and I know you can't admit it, but I know you know it's not right. I know you can't change it, but I'm just saying, that's not right. I get the rules. I get the rules, but I'm just saying it's not right. If it happened to me at this tournament,
The game ended with Osaka winning, which made her the first player from Japan to win a Grand Slam singles title. Yet, Osaka's success was undermined by the controversy behind what occurred between Williams and the umpire. After the game, Williams told officials that there's men out there who do a lot worse, then said, "Because I'm a woman, you're going to take this away from me? That's not right and you know it." Now, the incident transformed into a controversy about sexism and double standards in tennis. The media was quick to paint Williams in a negative light, portraying her as unhinged, overly emotional, and a sore loser. Labels like these are frequently used for women, especially women of color, when they assert themselves or express their true feelings. Many of the headlines focus less on the justification of her actual argument and more on her tone, facial expressions, and emotional intensity. Rather than examining how the umpire treated her or the broader topic of gender bias and double standards in the sport, the media instead framed the incident as a tantrum rather than a protest. One article from the New York Post went as far as to say that Williams needed to get her emotions together after her historic meltdown. This language was incredibly offensive and essentially reduced her taking a stand to a pathetic outburst. The word choice in the article itself speaks numbers, especially to the fact that men in sports who display frustration are often described as passionate or competitive, while Williams was labeled as dramatic and unstable. Articles like these reflected the long-standing double standard that when women speak out or express anger, especially in high-stakes environments, they are criticized, while men are often praised and deemed as brave for the same behavior. This kind of media coverage doesn't just hurt female athletes, but it also keeps old-fashioned and, not to mention, wildly outdated ideas about how women are supposed to act. It sends the message that women should stay quiet, go along with everything, and not speak up, even when they're being treated unfairly. So, it is clear that the damaging representation of Serena Williams in the media, along with the broader twisting of the real story, revealed just how deeply rooted sexism is within the sport of tennis and the media too. Given her unwavering confidence and the courage to stand up for herself for what she believed in, Williams became the face of every article that was written about this topic. Williams was often quoted saying that women are not allowed to have emotions and they are not allowed to be passionate within their sport. She also claimed that women are told to sit down and be quiet. Additionally, she stated, "It is shameful that our society penalizes women for just being themselves." It is important to note that Williams wasn't the only one standing up for what she believed was right when this controversy took Twitter by storm. People all over the world shared their opinions, and many of whom took Williams' side in this matter. Serena's coach tweeted, "The star of the show has been, once again, the chair umpire. second time in this US Open, and third time for Serena in a US Open final. Should they be allowed to have an influence on the result of a match? When do we decide that this should never happen again? Her coach makes a good point, raising the question of whether officials should ever be so involved in a match that they shifted the attention away from players and towards themselves, especially in a Grand Slam final where both athletes had so much on the line. Even tennis icon Billie Jean King sided with Williams and posted a tweet saying, "When a woman is emotional, she's hysterical, and she's penalized for it. When a man does the same, he's outspoken and there's no repercussions. Thank you at Serena Williams for calling out this double standard. More voices are needed to do the same." Naomi Osaka, the very woman that Williams lost to, even went on to support Williams as well in a thoughtful text. Her message read, "People can misunderstand anger for strength because they can't differentiate between the two." Given that Williams was always Osaka's childhood hero and role model, Williams remained her idol. This was especially apparent when Osaka said to Williams that no one has stood up for themselves the way that you have, and you need to continue trailblazing. It should be noted that this controversy did not drive Osaka and Williams apart, but rather it had the opposite effect. Even after her loss, surrounded by a sea of booing fans, Williams demonstrated wonderful sportsmanship by hugging Osaka and sincerely, publicly congratulating her. In the same moment, she turned to the crowd and told them, "Give everyone credit where credit's due and to not boo anymore." Even though Williams was trying her best to turn the situation around for the better, it still took her a long time to recover from this traumatic event. She recalled feeling defeated and disrespected by the incident and sought therapy in an attempt to recenter herself among the chaos that ensued after the match. After taking time out of the spotlight to heal and be with her daughter, she picked her racket back up for the 2019 Australian Open. I believe that Serena Williams' incident at the 2018 US Open is a strong example of how an athlete can be labeled as a bad player, not because of what they did, but because of how the story was told. At the time, what was reported was that Williams threw a fit on the court after arguing with the umpire, smashing her racket and causing drama during the final. Most of the headlines seemed to only hone in on her anger, labeling her as emotional and highly unprofessional. Yet, what truly happened was much more complicated. Williams wasn't just angry about losing points or the match as a whole, but rather she was standing up for herself against what she believed was unfair treatment by the umpire. As a result, she was penalized harshly by the umpire for her actions that male players had often done and gotten away with little to no consequences. Her overall frustration came from a consistent pattern of being treated differently, and when she gained the courage to speak out about it, the media twisted the narrative. At the end of the day, Serena Williams' experience at this particular 2018 Open goes far beyond just one heated match. It highlights the way that women, specifically Black women, are judged more harshly by society when they challenge authority or show any emotion at all. The media always chooses to tell simplified, one-sided versions of the story and often ignore the bigger picture of gender bias, double standards, and the pressure placed on women in sports. What Serena did was not a meltdown. It was a moment of strength. It was a bold stand against the unfair rules and expectations that have followed her and her fellow female athletes within her sport for years. By speaking out, Serena Williams not only defended herself, but also helped spark an important conversation about fairness, power, and how athletes are portrayed in the media and as a whole. Her story is a reminder that what we often see in the headlines is typically never really the full truth, and that the bad player label says more about the world around the athlete than it does about the athlete themselves. Back in 2018, I remember seeing the headlines about this incident and never really knowing the full story. I let the media's negative headlines taint my opinion of Serena. Now, I think that Serena's story is inspirational, and I have a stronger understanding of why she acted the way she did. She wasn't crazy, but rather I believe that she was wildly courageous. She stood up for herself and her belief that what happened wasn't right, and that is not an easy feat at all.